Hello and welcome to the Down to Finance podcast by Future Finance Group. My name's Amie and I'm the director, and my amazing team will also feature in some of these series. We are going to help you with learning about how to purchase your first home and everything else finance. Just remember to keep in mind, these podcasts are just general advice, and if you are after something more customized, reach out to your financial advisor, or you can reach out to us and we'd be more than happy to help. So in today's episode of one of our first podcasts, we're going to discuss the importance of home loan reviews. Today we are joined by Bianca, our home loan review manager.
Morning.
Good morning, B. And we also are joined by our senior mortgage consultant, Brendon.
Lovely to be here.
Thank you so much, guys. We're so excited to bring you guys this content, and hopefully we can help with understanding the importance of a home loan review. Bianca, would you like to tell us about your role?
Yep. So I've been here at Future Finance Group for 4 years, and my role is quite unique, I suppose, to other mortgage broker businesses in the sense that my role is purely to care for our clients in what we call post-settlement. So once their loan settles with their broker, I will touch base at about your 12-month mark. So you've settled into your home or your home loan, and I'll reach out and just go over your loan details with you. And what I want to review is make sure that you're on the best rates or packages that your lender offers you is still the best option for you.
Okay. And early on in my early days of being a mortgage broker, I didn't have a Bianca in my back corner. And I just want to ask Brendon, obviously, what impact does Bianca have to you as a mortgage broker, and also some of the feedback that she's had on your clients?
Certainly. So Bianca is invaluable to the business overall and as an individual broker. Like Bianca said, she touches base every 12 months with the client, does a rate review because we've got to make the bank accountable for the interest rates that they're offering. So she tries to get as best rate she can with the current lender to make sure repayments are as low as possible, especially with the cost of living and interest rates going up. The lower we can get the interest rate and subsequent repayment obviously helps the client, but it obviously just keeps Future Finance Group in the front of our clients' mind that we are here when they need help. Any questions about the current loan or potential lending moving forward, they might want to refinance, get cash out to do renovations, maybe look to sell, life event, babies, all that sort of thing come up. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of just a good conduit to keep in touch with the client as well as doing an interest rate review.
Yeah. I think obviously Bianca's role is to make sure our clients are never left wondering if they're paying too much or missing out on better features. She's really a secret weapon to our Future Finance Group business, and she really does set us apart from a lot of other mortgage brokering businesses, constantly checking in, running the numbers, and she always ensures that you do have the best possible home loan for your circumstances. No one offers this level of personalized post-settlement experience, I should say. And obviously Bianca really genuinely cares about the client's financial well-being. So how about we touch on some of the clients that do require your assistance post-settlement?
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, like I might reach out to a client and just be reviewing their loan, and it might potentially be on the best rate, but you start having that conversation of, oh yeah, we've just had a baby, or our hot water broke down. So then we investigate what we can do. They might need a top up. Their bank might not offer it. They might not see that their circumstances meet their criteria. So we'll look at other lenders that will help them. They might need a bigger car because they've just had their fourth baby when they're only going to have two, and they might be needing a bigger home. So every client needs a home loan review. There's not one client who needs it more than the other. Mm-hmm. Their client might be on the best rate, but might not be on the best package. Mm-hmm. So every client needs a home loan review. You know, we review our health insurance annually. We review our car insurance if it goes up. I do. I sit there every week and I go through the shopping catalogues, and it's Aldi got the frozen chips on sale versus Coles. Like, we shop around for everything, so why shouldn't we shop around for the best that we can get in our home loan? We all want to save money. We all want the lowest repayment. And that's what I do. I shop around through all the catalogues for you, and I make sure that you're always getting the best.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I think obviously, like as Bianca touches on, there's no one client that deserves a home loan review over another client. Like obviously this post service is offered to everybody that reaches that 1 year annual milestone with Future Finance Group. So we're dealing with first home buyers that have obviously started at a 95% lend. We're dealing with some clients that potentially are self-employed clients where we've been able to verify their income using, minimal documentation such as BAS statements rather than full financials. We've got refinancing clients, investor clients, and obviously Bianca goes through all of those circumstances to try to determine, is there a better, option available, or can we negotiate with your existing lender and really try and get that market leading rate for you. One thing that I just wanted to touch on was obviously clients that are using a security guarantor. So obviously Brendon and myself, we love obviously the fact that this product is available to first home buyers to get them in the door sooner rather than later. What do you find about the security guarantor product, obviously post-settlement, and how Bianca can obviously support those clients too?
Yeah. Well, the primary goal is to get the guarantor released. So the sooner we can do that, the better for everyone, better for the guarantor and better for the actual borrower, so they can move on to the loans themselves or secured against their property. So not only when Bianca is reviewing the actual home loan review, the rate on the overall guarantor suite of products, Bianca also gets a valuation conducted every 12 months. So that then allows for the security guarantor loan to be discharged from the guarantor, be it parents, family member, and moved over to the actual borrower's property. That way, everything's nice and clean. Guarantor can go their way and the borrower go their way. So it's very, very valuable overall.
And we do review that every 12 months, whereas a lot of other businesses or banks might not even review it, and it could just sit there for years on end. So we do review that every 12 months to hopefully get those guarantors released so they can all be on their own individuals. And
the joy that comes from that, how does that amazing. Make you feel, like when you get to call a first home buyer and say, hey, guess what? Like, we can say thanks to mum and dad, we don't need you anymore.
We don't need you. Yeah, it's amazing. And it generally is those first home buyers who it's really exciting to make that call. They've probably struggled to get into the market and needed that little bit of extra assistance from their guarantor, which have been so lucky to be able to have. And then to ring them and say, hey, your property's grown this much in equity that you may not have realised, like you've made X amount, we can release mum and dad or your grandparents or your brother. And they're like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have even thought to look at that yet. And it's just amazing. And it's almost like a sense of a new settlement because they've just settled their home loan on their own. Do you know what I mean? And then then to reach out to the parents and say, hey, your son Joe has made enough equity, we're going to release you as a guarantor. Like, here's the paperwork, it's done for you. And they're like, oh, this is amazing. So, it's super exciting.
Yeah, excellent. And I think obviously we've all worked together. Brendon and myself have been together for about 7 years now, and Bianca's obviously been a part of Future Finance Group for 4 years. So we've obviously seen different economic environments. So I just want to touch on the support that you offered clients, during COVID, post-COVID, and then obviously obviously an environment where, interest rates were record low. We were having clients fixed in at, 1.99 and, fast forward to, 3 and 4 years later where they're rolling off and going on to, 6%. The support that you were able to provide our clients during those, circumstances, was amazing. Obviously, I know for myself as a mortgage broker, with having you there and being able to invest in those quality conversations about what support they actually needed. Do you want to just share about that?
Yeah, it's actually interesting when you look back at how rates have changed in 4 years. Like when I started, they were super historically low and
very cheap.
Oh, it was like, and even now when I'm dealing with clients who are coming off that kind of 4-year fixed rate of 1.99 and you've got to deliver the news, I suppose, which is, it's exciting at the moment because rates are starting to come down, which is amazing to see for people, but it's still such a jump. So it is about having those quality conversations of, all right, well, you're on 1.99, but you're going to roll to this rate, which is, hopefully market leading. And if it's not, then that's when we'll have another conversation of what we can do to get you to market leading. But I suppose it is about having those conversations with people about, well, what can we do to make your life easier? So the rate might not be what you would hope, but what can we do to make life easier? So is it a budgeting issue we can look at? Is it a package that your lender might offer that we hadn't considered? Is it about adding offset? Are you using your offsets correctly?
It's that really holistic approach. It's making sure that like everything in the puzzle is obviously working the best
correct
for our client.
Yeah.
And I think obviously, Brendon and I, we had, a number of clients that took advantage of really low fixed rates that, have come up to, their fixed rates expiring and their repayments are going up, $500 to $800 a month more. And obviously that's a scary thing, but I guess the importance of having that back end office, support is that the earlier we can start to prepare for that significant repayment jump is what matters, because obviously your bank doesn't do that for you. We really go in as early as we can to try to educate and support you for these future increases in your repayments.
And we do communicate that too. Like we'll reach out to the clients, say
2 years out.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, you've still got another amazing year ahead of you, but here's a forecast of what it might look like. So let's start preparing for that change for you. And I suppose, unfortunately, banks are so eager and so amazing to new clients that they forget when clients have been with them. So that's why we do stand out, because we do the work that a bank won't do for them. Like, we'll always make sure that your rates are coming down if they can. It's super important to have a home loan review.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
The post-fixed forecast, I think, has been invaluable that you've been doing, because it allows the clients to forecast.
And it does, and that's what clients say. Yeah, like, all right, the repayments are going
to be around that. Thanks for letting us know what it'll be.
We've got time to prepare.
Adjusting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, might have had, pay increases, change in circumstance, and, have budgeted for or forecasted for it.
And that's the thing. Things change so much in 12 months. Yeah. And, I suppose, unfortunately, on the flip side of that, there are the conversations which sometimes are really hard to have with clients and upsetting, where we forecasted it and unfortunately their circumstances have changed on the other side, which is for the worse. And they've now, maybe had to sell an investment property or sell their owner-occupied home and gone down a little bit, but at least they've had time to prepare. They're not just like, oh my gosh, I'm rolling from 1.99 to 6% and I don't know what to do. So it's not always the best news that someone wants, but at least we're there to support and encourage and then give them the support that they need to obviously make that change.
Yeah, and I think it's just about building that, relationship for the life of the loan. And I feel that that's really important, because obviously when I first started, and I was really trying to, build Future Finance Group, a lot of my time and energy went on, I guess, new to Future Finance Group clients. I was just caught up in that sort of wheel of, getting new clients in and, settling them, that I forgot about the importance of, obviously, the back part of the business, which is really our most valuable part, which is our existing clients. And so I think, now that we've got the role of Bianca, her time and energy is really building those long-term relationships that, clients are able to express if they're experiencing, financial hardship, or they're going through a relationship breakdown, or, they've had
just creates
medical.
that talking point.
Yeah.
Opens a communication.
And I feel really lucky. Like, I get to have those conversations and relationships with clients, like, we spoke 12 months ago, and they're like, oh my gosh, has it been that long? And we've done this, and we've got a grandchild, or we're having our third baby, and we want to buy a bigger home. Like, I get to have all those super exciting conversations and those relationships, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's excellent. So in regards to obviously what we do when we're looking at a review, what are the areas that we focus on? So as we all are aware, spitting out one interest rate just doesn't happen now. There's so many variables that are on the table when we are answering that question, that hot topic of what is the best interest rate. What are the areas that we obviously look at?
Yeah, so we'll obviously look at the current interest rate and what their lenders are offering. We look at if their circumstances have changed financially, if there's something better that could be offered. We look at their LVR, so if they've got any equity in the home and what that can bring. So obviously the more equity a client has, obviously it can encourage a bigger discount on their rate. We'll look at if they're on a package versus a base home loan. There's lots and lots of different areas.
And that's obviously for us, Brendon, when we're giving advice at, a first home buyer initial appointment, that's a 95% lend. Obviously, they might start off as a basic client because they don't have any cash flow. They don't have much savings left over. So at that point in time, there's no benefit of them paying that $395 annual fee. Yeah. And so, post, 2 years, they've built up some capital growth. They've obviously out of uni, they're now earning, $50K more of combined income. So they've got that option that Bianca discusses with them, going on a professional package, which comes with, other loan features.
And that's just a sideways move as well. It's not a full application. So Bianca facilitates all of that with the lender, be it through internet banking, app, or manual form, but you'll talk them.
Yeah, talk them through it, and we obviously we prepare as much of it as we can. So hopefully it's just the signature for the client. But yeah, it's absolutely not a new application. It is just a sideways step in a better direction with their lender, if that's what we think will facilitate a better deal for them.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, being a business owner, we love figures and we love tracking and everything like that. So, I mean, in 1 month, how many home loan reviews would you conduct for our clients?
Yeah, so on an average month, it's about 120. Yeah. So that's 120 individual clients. And if they've got 4 loans, I review all 4. We don't just pluck one loan for them. And
it's that holistic approach again.
Again. And some clients have 4 loans with 2 different lenders. So I'll ensure that we incorporate the whole package for them. But yeah, it's about 120. Sometimes it's more. And some of the savings can be astronomical. Like, I had a client last month who it was a simple conversion to go onto a package. They weren't on one, and it was, as you said, it was a first home buyer. And their savings is like $550 a month. Yeah. So you then put that into an annual figure. They've already made back that package fee in 3 weeks of that conversion.
And I think actually going on to just savings and stuff like that, you also had a BF win for a client that had a circumstance that we probably haven't touched on, which was the change in purpose.
Yep. So the client had an investment property, they moved into that investment property, thus converting it to owner-occupied. So Bianca did a subsequent rate review to convert that to an owner-occupied rate, and I think the rate was so sharp when she clicked accept, it cut her finger. It's pretty sharp, wasn't it?
I actually called Brendon. I was like, I don't know if this is right. Like it was amazing. And the clients are super, super happy. Yeah. So, it was amazing.
Yeah, so we definitely achieve really good outcomes. And I mean, even just like a small reduction in your interest rate can sometimes make a huge difference. Just as an example, on a $500,000 mortgage, if we do save 0.5%, it could save up to $2,500 a year. So that money, obviously, that we're saving you, post-settlement can go towards things such as savings, holidays, renovations, and obviously, I always talk, it's not just about rate. It's really important to focus on the loan features. Are you making the best of your offset accounts? Are you aware of, your particular package having multiple offset accounts? I know Brendon and I obviously talk about segmented banking and making sure that, you invest time into really understanding like your money going in and out and everything. I
think something to also highlight with that is we don't always have a win. Like sometimes clients are just on the best rate, or they might not be on the best rate, but at that present minute, that's the best we can do.
That's right.
And those clients are still so thankful that we've tried. And that's then having that conversation of, okay, it's not the best rate, but given whatever the personal circumstances are, we still believe that you're in the right position with that lender. And I'll then review that in 3 months. So you're not pigeonholed to 12 months. There will be circumstances, unfortunately, where right now that is the very best. But that doesn't mean we go away for 12 months. The brokers are there every day. I'm here every day. And it is as simple as calling, email, just like, hey, Bianca, what do I do? And generally those clients are the ones who are super ecstatic to hear from me. We haven't had the win, but we've had the conversation and we're there for that support.
Get a lot of positive feedback, even though if you haven't got a rate reduction.
Like a money saving,
it's like, thanks for being guardian angel. Like
Absolutely.
There's always lots of feedback that comes back. Like, thanks for just being there. Thanks for checking on it. Appreciate what you've done. Understand it can't be any lower. And that rate's still very, very competitive within the market.
Yeah,
it's just we can't just get it any lower at that point in time.
100%. Yeah. And I think the joy that comes from that, when our inbox lights up and we see, a client engaging with Bianca about their home loan review, like, obviously us as the broker, we're always going to chime in if there's anything additional that we need to, provide comfort around. But Bianca, at the end of the day, she's available to be able to fully support you, and seeing those emails come through where you guys are engaging with her, like it's such a satisfying process. Like I think we used the analogy of, cake baking.
I'm the cake decorator of our baking. I get the sprinkles on top.
We sort of talked about, the home loan journey for a client and, reception right through to settlement, right through to obviously Bianca's role, and how it's really important that we all have an expert in that little bit of cake making that sort of, produces that wonderful baked tasting cake at the end. So I guess a big question to you all is, when was the last time that you had your home loan reviewed? And if it has been more than 12 months, then I would highly recommend that that's something that you add to your to-do list. And obviously, no time is ever, ideal. I think it's just one thing that you have to just make time for. And sometimes we can really achieve great outcomes. And like Bianca mentioned before, if it's not something that we can help with right now, that's where Brendon and I can create, action plans and further support and education around what you have to do in order to achieve that. And I think the most important thing is that, our goal is to make sure that it's super quick, fast, easy. Like we're aware of, clients' circumstances. You know, I now am a mother. I've got a 10-month-old. My life is obviously very different to what it was. You know, Brendon's got a child, Bee's got 2 kids, and life is busy. And so we want to make sure that we make this a really simplified process, that we're able to provide that, you know, outcome for you at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And so if you do want to engage with us in order to be able to get a home loan review, please feel free to obviously call our reception team or speak with Bianca. And I just want to say thank you so much to Brendon and Bianca for sitting in on one of our first podcasts for DTF. It's really exciting that we've obviously just bitten the bullet and started, because we're all very scary. I think Bianca explained it like it was going for a job interview.
I did. I was like, I'm sitting down for a job interview.
I also was like, how am I going to do this? So I think we're really excited to obviously finally sit down and bring you some content. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. If you did find this helpful, please share it with your friends and family, and follow us for the next one to come. Thank you.